Today we're going to be building a $900 gaming PC. And the main reason why we're building this, I'm actually going to start with the case. Because we have an upcoming pre-roll video sponsorship for the Okinos Aqua 9. Okinos has been, they've been on a tear lately with the budget cases, man. Especially the micro ATX, like the Cypress and the Aqua series and whatnot. This is the Okinos Aqua 9. A little bit higher end. This is a $94 ATX size case. Comes with 4 pre-installed ARGB fans. We're gonna run an ad on it. So in order for us to run the ad on it, I gotta fill it up with some parts, man. Like I can't film the whole ad with just an empty case. So that is the entire purpose of this build. This was not, hold on. Ugh. This was not like 100% optimized from the ground up. Most of this build is using parts that we had laying around the studio. And they combined into what I think is a, you know, competent $900-ish gaming PC. And we're going to start off with, again, parts that I had laying around the studio. The Ryzen 7 5700 X3D. We got some X3D action going on here. Back-to-back X3D builds here on Thirsty Thursday. Or on the live stream, I should say. This only costs, because I bought it off AliExpress, $153. Ooh, that's only a few bucks more than if you bought like a 5600X from Amazon. This is a much better CPU. 5700 X3D is how we're going to start things. All right, motherboard we got an ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming 4-AC. Absolutely no bells and whistles on this thing. Very standard ATX motherboard. Hopefully it's good enough for the 5700 X3D, to be honest. This is more on the budget B550 side of things. It should be fine though. For RAM, I already showed this. This is the T-Force Delta RGB. This is a 32 gig kit, 6,000 megahertz with the CL30 rating. That is all you need for RAM. Just search for that. 32 gigs, 6400 megahertz, or 6,000 megahertz, sorry, and CL30. For black RGB kits, I really like the T-Force Delta series. That's one of my go-tos. Another one of my go-tos. I realize that. Damn it. The DDR5 RAM, obviously not going to work with the AM4 B550 system. Total oversight. Hey, this build's going to be even cheaper than that. My bad. Moving on. SSD. We got a Clev Crass C910. NVMe Gen 4 drive. Very budget. This is one of the most budget Gen 4 SSDs that you can find. Power supply. Shauner, aka Chef Deals, in the Discord server. This is my first one that I'm using. We had a crazy deal on these Raid Max Cobra Power 650 watt power supplies. Now, it doesn't sound like a good power supply. Raid Max, Cobra Power. It doesn't really sound legit. This is an ATX 3.1 unit. PCIe Gen 5.1, 80 plus gold. It's actually tier C on the PSU tier list. These were these were $39. $39 on sale. That is crazy for a 650 watt tier C power supply. I bought 5 of them. So I will definitely be using these in some upcoming budget builds. That is crazy good value for a tier C power supply. Shout out to Okinos. I figured I'd use these because of the Okinos case that we got going on. These are just some black cable extensions. That'll make the cables look a little bit nice and tidy, you know. instead of, I actually have no idea what those stock cables look like on the Raid Max, so we don't really have to take a risk with that. Cooling our 5700X3D is a Thermalright Frozen Knot 360 black ARGB. This is mostly an aesthetic choice. I mean, it's not a bad idea to properly cool the 5700X3D, but I wouldn't say it's required to have a 360 AIO. This is more so we can fill out that case. The Okinos Aqua 9 has the 4 pre-installed fans, but it has nothing up at the top. If we just put this up top, that's gonna fill the case out real nicely with a bunch of RGB action, and it should look very clean. And then finally, our graphics card. We're in GPU season, or GPU shortage season, ladies and gentlemen. This is an XFX RX 7600. This was the... This is crazy to say. This was the highest end card that I could readily buy over the weekend without spending hundreds of dollars more than what the card is worth. For the GPU shortage right now, I've been looking every day. Up to the 7600 and RTX 4060, you can buy cards at normal or just slightly overpriced. Everything else, crazy overpriced. So yeah, I mean, this is literally all I could buy. Like, I would have loved to pair that with like a, you know, a 4070 maybe, but we can't. But yeah, that's the parts list. Here it is. Other than the... Oh, we'll cross that out. Other than that... So that'll be about $50 with the 32 gig DDR5 kit, or 4 kit. If you... The price average is what you would probably pay today if you tried to copy this build. With the RAM, it'll be closer to $850. And then I pay probably around $750 after we adjust for that. The only reason my price is lower is because I didn't pay for the case because it's for that pre-roll ad, and then you're probably not going to be able to replicate that that GPU deal that we were talking, or that power supply deal that we were talking about. Let's start building everything but the RAM. B550 Phantom Gaming 4 with DDR4 slots. Are you excited for the RX 9070 reveal? So the AMD's next GPU launch is literally tomorrow. It's in what, like 12 hours or so? I don't know why, but I just haven't been following it. Like, I keep seeing like, I feel like this has been a very weird GPU teaser season for AMD. Like, I've seen leaks that say that the 9070 is like better than a GRE, which I think it is, or at least the XT. I'm not really sure. And then we've seen leaks that it's like not better than a 7700 XT. It, like, the leaks have been all over the place. So I got to the point where it's just like, I'm not following this. I'm definitely not making videos about these drastically different claims in the performance and whatnot. This motherboard came with this little metal bracket thing for the... Yeah, it's still bent. Kind of bending that back into place here. I don't know why that happened, but it looks good now. That's just for the built-in Wi-Fi. Let's get our 5700 X3D. For AM4 now, I've been making a couple pieces of content about the latching force of AM5, but now we have AM4, and this is one of the easiest CPU latch systems that we have available. The Ryzen logo is always facing this direction. You can also match up the gold corner here with the little arrow up there. We're just gonna set that in there. Make sure all those pins go down in there and secure. There's no wiggling with AM4 because it like drops in there, and then there's no room for wiggle like there is for AM5. But now here with this latching system, there's virtually no pressure at all. It just goes right down like that. Compare that to AM5, where it feels like you're breaking it. AM4 is pretty much as easy as it gets. Drastically different latching systems for AM4 versus AM5. If you missed the intro, I'm not installing the RAM. I don't know how we managed to make it this far into the day, but I had a DDR5 kit packed with me. That will obviously not work. If you don't know, DDR5 will not even physically fit. Okay, let's might as well get some value out of my mistake here. The RAM sticks are the same size. Like, the edges are the same. Like, this looks like it'll line up here, but the notches will actually not let you do it either way. So it prevents you from accidentally installing. I could not push that down if I wanted to, because that notch is not lined up with the notch on the slot. They thought ahead. That way they don't let people that make mistakes like I do accidentally install DDR5 into a DDR4 system. So you don't really have to worry about that, except if you accidentally bought it, then you'd have to return it. But we're just not going to build with it. But my loss is your gain of hopeful knowledge, if you didn't already know that. Okay, now removing the SSD. How do you enter the giveaway? Type in !giveaway. You should be able to figure it out from there. Just make sure you log in via Twitch. This is our Clev Crass C910, or heatsink, or heat pad. Comes unattached. It should have arrived like this. It was out floating in the box. This is how it usually arrives, like that. So it's separate. I really like when SSDs do this, because if you had a motherboard that had a built-in heatsink, like mine did on Tuesday, then you could just leave this off and then install the SSD like this. But this being a budget motherboard, there is no built-in heatsink, so we are actually going to take advantage of the heatsink that this SSD uses. This is just a super thin piece. The thermal pad is actually thicker than the actual... I don't know if you call it... This isn't really a heatsink. It's more like a heat pad thing. But yeah, we're just going to remove the 3M sticker here and then place that on top of the SSD. That way it gets a little bit better cooling performance, and we definitely want to make sure that it's lined up so it's upright, like the letters are upright, so it's not upside down. Can you see that? Yeah. There we go. Press down. There we go. Now we have our SSD ready to go. And then we can install that into the M.2 slot. All right, so now we're just gonna screw that down, and boom, our SSD is now installed. I need a drink break, man. We gotta get a little refill action here. How bad is it to have NVMe with no DRAM cache? It's not nearly a big deal anymore. It was a bigger deal with 2.5-inch SATA SSDs. It is not a huge deal anymore. I don't think that one has DRAM. I could be wrong, though. Oh yeah, we're back in action. What do you think about the Crucial P3 Plus? I just installed it. Yeah, that's a good mid-range. I would consider this one entry level. The Crucial P3 Plus has been a pretty good mid-ranged SSD. Okay, so now the last thing we want to do before finishing our prep for the motherboard is we want to prep the AIO. Now this thing I have absolutely never used before. I see a lot of people use it though, especially PC flippers on Jawa. This is the Thermalright Frozen Knot 360, if that's how you pronounce knot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay. I do love that this comes with the fans pre-installed. That is a huge help. Significantly lowers the time of assembly. That is awesome. Hopefully they are orientated correctly. Oh, no pre-installed thermal paste though. Wow. Okay, that's fine. That's looking pretty good. So check the, yeah, the orientation is perfect. So this is the orientation that I'm going to install it in the PC with the AIO up top. The fans set to exhaust up through the top of the case. And then I specifically want all of the cables for the fans to be on the back side of the case. That way you don't see them from the front side of the case. And it looks like everything is daisy chainable, which you love to see. Both the PWM connector and the 3-pin ARGB connector. That's all daisy chainable. That's really, really good. Yeah, I mean, this is super solid so far. It looks like the pump also has an ARGB connection right here, and then one power connection for a fan. So yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good, but let's get the mounting hardware. Align the, oh, this looks a little confusing actually. Oh, I don't know if I like that. We're actually using the bridges that come pre-installed on the motherboard. Wow. Okay, so it looks like we're just gonna need the latching system. Interesting. I haven't used one of these in a little bit. Not that. The good thing is it sounds like it's going to be minimal hardware, but this is the only piece we need. And these things right here, the screw and this little square bracket, these square brackets are going to hook around the plastic bridges right here and right here. So basically pretend this is the entire AIO. It's just going to scoop over top of that one and then scoop over top of that one. And then that's it. You just crank it down and it's good to go. They're very, very easy to install. I've had shipping issues with... why would I need that? We'll save that for later. I've had some shipping issues with using this style of clamping mechanism, but hopefully that was not related to this. We shall see. Okay, so let's somehow unlatch this. Get this off. And then we got to figure out how to install this to the AIO. So it's gonna come and swoop around this way, I guess. This will probably just be a little twist type action. I don't really know though. Looks like these pipes are gonna get in the way. Okay, like that. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And then yeah, that is gonna be like this. And then the AIO is just gonna mount just like that. Okay, we're in business. Very easy. Wow. Again, if you missed the intro, this is the Raid Max Cobra Power 650 watt tier C. These were $39 on Amazon. This is why you need to be following the ZTT Deals channel. Type in ! Discord if you want to hop in on that. Crazy deal. I bought 5 of them. I know I'm going to regret that. I probably should have bought like 20. But we will definitely be seeing these in future ZTT budget builds. $39 for a 650 watt tier C is just absolutely unbeatable value. And surprisingly, the cables are actually pretty aesthetic. Yeah, wow, these aren't the typical, like, super plasticky cables. It's not modular at all. But these are actually, like, it's like a mix. It's like a combination of like the nice braided cables and plastic. It's like plastic braided. Aesthetically, it's actually pretty solid. But it actually feels higher quality. Wow. Big surprise here. Yeah, I mean, these actually feel really good. Interesting. The Raid Max Cobra Power. Cables don't really matter to us, though, because we are going to throw on some Okinos cable extensions. We're just going to keep everything all black. But the aesthetics of this cable, or these cables, are way better than that. This is what I'm talking about right here. Okinos has been pretty solid. I've used their cable extensions a few times now. Looks pretty good. We should be good for that. We do need to check out the GPU real quick, though, because I don't know what the power config looks like. Again, this is the RX 7600, the XFX Swift 210. Open this up here real quick. Just a nice little 2-fan. These have always been one of my go-tos. The XFX Swift 210 series. Just a very clean, minimal, all-black card with a black backplate. Looks like we just have one 6+2 with the connector up top. That's all we were looking to do. That's all the information I needed for my cable comb action. I wonder if Max Verstappen will win the Drivers' Cup. We'll see. I'm excited for this year, man. March 16th, I think. It's a couple days after the giveaway. March 16th, I think, is the first Australian Grand Prix of the year. Very excited for Formula One to come back. Hamilton for the win, yeah. So I say this often, but last year was I'm a new Formula One fan. Last year was my first ever year like really following Formula One, but I loved it, man. I watched every race. Sometimes not live. I would watch it like Sunday night, the recorded version. But I watched every race. Instead of just like watching the race and enjoying it, I think I might be actually rooting for Ferrari this year. So we'll see how that goes. I like McLaren and Red Bull. Yeah. I don't really have any like fandom towards McLaren. Like, I mean, I don't even really like the aesthetic of McLaren. But I do like Lando. I do like Lando. Need to get you a Formula One Ferrari jersey. That'd be cool. Last season was my first time watching a full season, looking for McLaren for the win. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was at least exciting last year. I remember like tuning into Formula One here and there, and the couple times I did tune in for like 1 or 2 races out of the year, it would be Hamilton winning every single race and then Verstappen winning every single race. So now it's at least competitive. We'll see how competitive it is this year. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just cable coming. I'm gonna keep cable coming because they're not really missing much. Just need the 4+4 now. Who is watching ads? I don't know, man. Not me. I got that. I'm all about that Twitch Turbo life, to be honest. I don't even know if that's what they call it, but... What about Verstappen? I mean, I don't mind him. I like his personality. I think it's extremely entertaining. But like, I don't want to see him dominate. Steelers are awesome. I agree. Fun fact, they're actually going to win the Super Bowl this year. It'll be the Chiefs. Chiefs are if I know one thing for sure, Chiefs are definitely not winning the Super Bowl this year. Now, that Super Bowl is going to haunt them for a little bit. I don't think they have the weapons necessary to like lose a Super Bowl like that and then just like come back like swinging, you know, getting their revenge. I don't think they have that. All right, there we go. Everything is cable come. We got the 24 pin. We got the 4+4 for the CPU and then the 6+2 for the GPU. All that stuff is good to go. Motherboard and power supply are prepped. So now we can get our case out and start putting the, oh my God, the Lego pieces. Oh, why do I keep using heavy cases? We gotta do ITX next. We gotta switch to ITX. All right, let's check out this Okinos case. This is the Okinos Aqua 9. Like I said, this is the entire reason why we're building this PC today, is because they are sponsoring an upcoming long form video. So we're running a pre-roll ad on this case. Like, hey, this video is brought to you by the Okinos Aqua 9. That type of deal. The only reason I'm building with it right now is because for that pre-roll ad, I don't want to just film an empty case. So we got to fill something inside of it. Let's take a look at what the back looks like. So far, the front looks pretty good. We got the 4 pre-installed ARGB fans. We're going to put the AIO up top. Oh, this is an interesting... Oh, this is... Oh. We got a lot going on here. This is what the back of it looks like. So we do have reverse bladed fans. That is definitely a good thing. We have this grill here, which is removable, which kind of like hides a bulk of the cables. I don't hate that. Power supply basement. Got a lot of cables here and a lot of cables up here. So a lot of these are going to come down this way. But we do have a hub. It looks like it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, why do we have 5? A 5-port... Wait, why do we have 5? And 5 fans? I'm lost. Oh, there's RGB on the K. Oh, there is 5. Oh my God, I've been saying 4 this whole time. There's 5. 5 fans. My bad. There's one of those is it angled? No, not angled. It's just a reverse bladed fan down there meant to draw up fresh air from the bottom. Pretty unique design, actually. The only times I've seen this are when they're angled for the GPU. This looks like it's just trying to bring in fresh air from the bottom. But yeah, 5 pre-installed ARGB fans. My bad for saying 4 the entire time. But yeah, so it does have a 5-port hub up at the top here. 5 ports for both PWM and ARGB. No extra ports though. So I don't know what we're going to do with everything else. Or everything else, the AIO can just daisy chain, so we don't even need this. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, that is... Hold on, we got a warning here. What's this warning say? I can't get to the warning. Okay, we're definitely going to have to uninstall this. Not with that screw boot. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to catch up on super chats in just a second. My bad. I'm not going to miss them today, I promise. I missed way too many subs and resubs on Tuesday. We're not going to miss them today. Let me just get a good foundation for this case real quick. Okay. So this can just uninstall. Slide up. Like that. Okay, what's this warning? Do not connect it. Do not connect it to the pump header. Okay. Got it. We will not connect this hub to the pump header. That makes sense. Okay. And then we have SATA and ARGB over here. So we can control all the RGB action. We might be able to daisy chain this whole thing to that hub. I don't know how much power that hub can handle, but we can give it a shot. USB-C, USB 3.0. Yeah, I mean, we got everything we need here. Okay. All right, before I start building, let's catch up. Thermaltake View series cases are so good. I disagree. That's what our giveaway PC is in. That's the Thermaltake View 270. I think aesthetically, it's on point. Absolutely, no questions there. That build, that case looks great. The cable management and actually building inside the Thermaltake View 270 was not fun at all. That case doesn't do anything at all to help you with cable management, which was a real shame. This feels really weird installing without RAM and a CPU cooler. It's so light. It feels awkward putting this in the case, but we gotta do what we gotta do. If you guys join late, I accidentally brought some DDR5 with me. If you don't know, we're at my house. This is not our studio. And I don't think I have any DDR4 RAM in the house right now, so we're just gonna install it without RAM. We will wrap that up tomorrow. The first with the tier 1 sub, thank you. Or Twitch Prime. Awesome with the super chat. What GPU should I pair with the 7600X? Whatever you can find, man. Guys, we're in a GPU shortage. It's not really up to you right now. You can DoorDash RAM? I don't think so. Not in Pittsburgh. Would they get it from Best Buy? Oh, wow. Thank goodness that's magnetic. Would they go to Best Buy and do it? Is that possible? I would actually consider doing that. I would have considered doing that at the beginning of the stream if it works. That'd be worth it for science. Is this GPU shortage worse than the 30 series? No, it's not worse so far. It has the potential to be. I think personally, I think we're only a couple weeks away from the entire used market being completely swallowed up. Like I don't think we'll find any more used deals in a couple weeks from now. But there are still some used deals to be had. During the 30 series, that was not the case. But yeah, I mean, it's just, this is very real, guys. Very real. Darren with the super chat. Is the Deepcool CH160 a good case for portability? Yeah. Yeah, I like that case. I made a video about it. I like that. For a budget ITX case, I like it. Oh no, I just realized it's missing a standoff. Oh. Why is it missing a standoff right here? Oh, that's a shame. I gotta take all these out now. That's a real shame. Should have checked them all. What motherboard is that? It is the ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming 4. We just had this in the studio. I did not buy the parts for most of this build. Again, we just threw a build together. So we could run the ad for the case. This is not like a build guide, fully optimized or anything. What CPU? It's a 5700X3D. I've used that motherboard before. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit on the budget end, but it gets the job done. Okay, so sometimes whenever you uninstall screws from your case, you're gonna take some standoffs along with you. I don't know how well you can see this. I took a standoff there with me, and right here. If that ever happens, let me get this case out of the way real quick. If that ever happens, you got to get some needle nose pliers or whatever plier you prefer. I like to get some needle nose pliers and grab it on this side. Hold on to the standoff. Try not to hit anything on the motherboard. It's kind of hard to balance it. And then with that standoff in place. Oh wow, that's actually not. That's in there. Jeez. Wow. Hold on, let's try that again. Gonna really grab on this standoff here. And then unscrew that screw. That way the standoff can't go anywhere. And then it comes out. We're gonna do that twice. Where's the other one? Grab that standoff super tight. And then unscrew it. Wow. It was really in there. Alright, there we go. Sometimes you'll have that issue with standoffs. We need to install one more standoff. The case was missing a standoff. Alright, now we got that. Now we can reinstall the 3 standoffs that we need to now. Where'd I put that standoff tool? Oh, there it is. What's your opinion on the Ryzen 5 8400F? For a budget AM5 build? I honestly don't know much about the 8000 series CPUs. It wasn't like a real generational launch, and it just wasn't on my radar. Oh my god, where does that one go? I always forget if it's top or bottom. Top. Yeah, I don't think there's any like real benefit of 8000 series. Unless if you want one of the APUs, I guess. Where's this other? There it is. Here. Worse than a 7500F, but it's decent. Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen an advantage of those 8000 series CPUs. I get comments every now and then that are like, "Why don't you ever talk about it?" It's like, it wasn't like a real GPU generational launch. I feel like it might be popular in other countries, but it's just not a super popular option here. All right. All standoffs are installed, I believe. Now let's install this motherboard and actually make some progress with this build. Hopefully. Okay. Do we have standoffs everywhere? Yes. Okay. Now we can go. What's your opinion on the RTX 3050? I think if you're building a custom PC, it's pretty bad value. Like, only because an RX 6600 is better and usually cheaper. If you already have a 3050, then like the card can still give you 1080p gaming. It's not like it just doesn't work. It can still deliver 1080p gaming. It's just not a great choice for if you're building a PC. At least in the United States. Like if the 3050 was $150 or 140, I should say, then it would be a good buy. It's just too overpriced. What GPU is in this PC? It's the RX 7600. I just showed you everything about the GPU shortage, all the prices and whatnot. The RX 7600 was the highest end GPU that I could buy this weekend for this project. You can't without spending hundreds of dollars more, which I just showed you. What do you think of the 2060? I think if you buy it used for like $100, it's one of the better $100 options. Especially if you just prefer NVIDIA. How profitable is PC business? That's up to you, man. It's a business. It can be not profitable, or you can make millions of dollars a year from it. I mean, it's quite a large range. Okay, we have all standoffs installed. Good to go. It's really hard right now to choose non-Okinos budget cases just because I think they're one of the best options right now. Let's just keep it that way. Let's just innovate on the budget stuff. Por favor. You can install the HD audio down here. But I had a different company reach out to me this week and ask me to do a paid review for the 9070 XT and 9070. Like, a paid review for a brand new GPU? Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's a brand new product. Nobody does paid reviews for brand new products like that. That's like super unethical. I don't know if there was some like miscommunication or whatnot, but they're like, how much would it cost to do a sponsor review? And I'm like, I'm not doing sponsor review. Like, if you want to send me the card, I would love to make some content on it, but I got to be able to give my unbiased thoughts and not make this sponsored. So I don't know. Maybe I was dealing with a rookie at the company or something, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird. Hey Zach, I love your content. First time chatter. Thank you, man. Does one intake fan matter? It can, yeah. Yeah, it can. It all depends on the situation. What's your favorite whiskey and type of whiskey? I definitely favor Canadian whiskey, which is not good right now because the prices have gone up a little bit. But like, my palate has now evolved that I like all whiskey. I don't think I have a favorite brand. I haven't tried enough whiskeys at this point. I don't think so. Yeah. But definitely a fan of Canadian more than anything. Darcel with the 8-month Twitch Prime sub, thank you. Curai with the Twitch Prime as well. What headset are you using right now? It's the Corsair HS80. You can type in ! headset if you want the link. Okinos does have the USB-C cable for right here on the front, but budget B550 motherboard, B550 does not have the USB-C header over there, so we will not be able to use that. So we're gonna tuck in that cable, and I don't think there's really anything left to do before the. I mean, I guess we should cable manage a little bit. The cable management starting point of this one is a little rough, but that's because there's five fans pre-installed. Oh, I guess I gotta drop. I guess we'll do that after. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to do here. I guess I could route this cable down. This is kind of a weird one. No cable management needed. I mean, we could definitely get away with not cable managing. This is I don't think you would call this a dual chamber, but I mean, this is like 2 inches of depth back here. I don't know what. It's not dual chamber because the power supply is at the bottom, but like it feels like a dual chamber because you have so much room for cables back here. Is this build pure performance? No, definitely not. No, I am only putting this build together because we're doing a sponsorship for the case, and this was mostly just throwing together parts that we already had. This is not a pure performance or build guide style of video. Okay, one other thing I guess I should do now is... Yeah, we gotta take care of this. What's going on here? This is the last thing I gotta address here. Is we got SATA, PWM, and ARGB Is there an RGB button on here? Yeah, is this an RGB? Yeah, this is an RGB button. Okay, so we're just gonna use the RGBs for this build, and then so we'll definitely need to plug that in, so we can route that down, and then we need to plug in this PWM connector, and it said definitely don't plug it in for the radiator, which we won't do. The one thing I will tell Okinos though, or hold on. Never mind, it's good. I was gonna say that yellow flag might be a little bit too close to the connector, but it's perfect in there, so you can't see the yellow. Okay, so now that we have that, let's just route these cables down, and then we're pretty much good for the power supply. How do you feel about Lewis Hamilton? I'm rooting for him, man. I think he's a cool dude. Ferrari would be the one team that I'm a fan of, so I'm excited that he's there now, and I hope he does well. I would love to see him snag a couple more wins like he did last year. But most importantly, I just hope it's a competitive season. I don't want to see one person or one team completely dominate. That wasn't fun. So yeah, I'm really excited about this year. Let's yeah, I don't really need to do anything else. All right, let's put the power supply on. We're good. Where's my power supply? There we go. Okay. Got our Raid Max over here, tier C. Fan down. Put it right in there like that. What is your take on Max? I don't really have a take. I'm a big fan of his personality. I think it's hilarious. I respect people that dominate a sport. It's not something that I want to see. I want to see competition. But I have respect for dominance like that. I don't really have any other opinions though. I mean, I guess I do. No, I mean, that's not true. I guess my other opinion would be I don't like what he gets away with. You know, it seems like the FIA was penalizing him a little bit more last year. And now that he doesn't have the fastest car on the grid, his, like, extremely aggressive and defensive driving style is, like, not tolerated anymore. So, I mean, yeah. I don't like that he drives that way sometimes. But it seems like it will be fixed over time. What's the CPU for this build? It's a 5700 X3D. What's your monitor? I don't know what the exact model name. It's an ROG Strix 4K OLED. It's obnoxious. Both of them are actually obnoxious monitors that they sent me. I would not have spent all that money. All right, 24 pin is plugged in. Now I'm gonna plug it the 4+4 for the CPU. Excuse me. Oh, that's not even the... Oh my god, that's not the right one. I just completely untangled that cable, and it's not the right one. Is this a budget AM4 build? It's a $900 AM4 build. It's not 100% optimized. It's kind of... It's not super weird. It wouldn't be my first pick of parts though. Can you show us the anime GPUs? I don't. The only picture I have is the picture that I sent on IG stories. I will definitely make some sort of content about that though. Yeah, 20 of those 97 GPUs are anime GPUs, and like I don't have like an inherent. I'm not against anime. I wish I enjoyed anime like a lot of people do. I've tried several shows and I just can't get into it. I'm not intrigued by like most anime art, especially like anime art on PC products and whatnot. It's just not my jam. I don't mind if it is your jam. It's just not mine. But during the GPU shortage, sometimes you got to take what you can get. So we bought 20 anime GPUs. And we had a meeting on Monday about how we're going to design the PC. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going to hide the fact that it's an anime GPU. Like, I don't want somebody to buy a GPU and then realize, like, oh, wait, this is anime? But I also don't want, like, anime art, like, on the cover, on the front page of zttbuilds.com. I don't want that to, like, be our brand image. So, we got to find the right balance. You got to grow up with it? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think anybody in my... I'm sure people did, but I didn't hear the term anime when I was in high school too often. All right. That's all good. We're going to have a big, beefy cable bulk here, but that's fine. I'm gonna put an extra zip tie down here just to clean it up a little bit. Hi from Puerto Rico. Hello. Can you paint over it? No, I'm not gonna paint over the GPU. I'm not gonna sell a painted GPU. Unless if it's like a used build, flip or something. Not for our normal builds. All right, there we go. Okay, I mean, the cable management's not looking terrible. That'll work. The only thing I got hanging out here is the 6+2 for the GPU. We'll do that after the AIO. This is where cable management is definitely going to go out the window. But let's get this AIO installed now. We're going to put it up top. That way, we got the 5 fans down here. And then we'll add 3 more RGB fans up at the top, and it's just gonna fill this case out real nicely. Attack on Titan, please. I watched Attack on Titan, man. Attack on Titan is the one that I watched the most episodes on. Maybe 6 episodes I got through or something. I just can't do it, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's because like a lot of these anime are about like kids, you know? Like, Attack on Titan is about, like, high school kids, I think? Right? I could be wrong. I don't know, I just don't relate to it. The Cyberpunk anime that came out a couple years ago, that one I thought had potential. Like, I liked the aesthetic of it. I liked how it was relevant, because Cyberpunk the game and whatnot. But that one I just couldn't follow. It was like too chaotic. And I only watch TV like when I'm in bed on my iPad. And like Cyberpunk like just had my brain going like way too fast. And it's like, this is not relaxing me at all. What are your thoughts on the RX 580? It was a really, really good budget GPU 5 years ago. It no longer is. If you only want to spend like $50 to $60 on a GPU, that might be one of your better options. Make sure you get the 8GB version. But other than that, like I would not try to target an RX 580. It's way too old now. It served its purpose It was a meta budget GPU for a really long time, but no longer. There are a lot of cables back here, and I'm adding even more. There we go. Now I'm just trying to pull them all tight for the AIO. Right there, I think you can see. That looks good. We can start to install this. What's your take on War Thunder? I have only played War Thunder for like 2 hours when I ran an ad for them like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't have a take other than I don't have a take. I don't remember it. I'm not playing it. And I didn't play it after the ad. I think every YouTuber has run a War Thunder ad though. Please read my big message. That's easier said than done, man. I don't scroll up on these messages. And if it's a big message, it's hard to read. J-Dub with the 300 biddies. Quick question for you. Those I like. I can get a 5080 build for 2,500 or a 4090 build for 3,000. 5080 has an Intel Ultra 265K. 4090 has a 14900K. Dude, I don't like either one of those, man. Honestly, I would not buy either one of those. I don't like that combination at all. Those are weird combinations. I would definitely not recommend buying anything 14900K. The issues have been fixed for 14900K, but you don't know if yours is updated, and you don't know if yours was used that had the issue previously, because that issue causes permanent damage to the CPU. So unless you can get 100% confirmation that yours isn't affected, then I wouldn't go down that route. And then if I'm gonna spend the money on a 5080 build, I'm definitely not getting a 265K with that. No way. Yeah, I'm not gonna recommend you either one of those. Ron is back with the 1,000 biddies. No message either. Thank you, Ron. Much appreciated. In your experience, is Jawa.gg safe to sell 4090s on? You do realize that I own equity in Jawa, right? Yes, Jawa is safe. Jawa is the best marketplace, in my opinion, for anything used hardware related. All right, this is how the AIO is going to be installed. Let's get some thermal paste action. How many PCs do you think you have made? Whenever somebody asks, or like whenever I have to reference my history, I mean, I don't think I'm at 1,000, but I mean, I'm pretty confident I'm closer to 1,000 than 500. I would guess I've built anywhere for, I have zero clue, but I would guess that I've built around 750, maybe 850 builds. Could be 1,000, could be 500. I really don't know, but that would be my guess. Okay. So we gotta latch this. We're gonna latch this top one up and over. That latch for, oh, missed. Up and over here, like that. Keep that into place. And then we're gonna press down over here and then lock in. Wow, that was super easy. Wow, nice job, Thermalright. That worked out really well. And then I'm just gonna go back and forth and try to evenly apply pressure on these two top and bottom screws. And wow, that was a super easy install. That worked out really well. Nice job. We might need to take it up a notch here. Asking in the Discord is a great option as well. I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong. Asking for help in the Discord is what the Discord's for. But like personally, I wouldn't ask a question in Discord. Like you do you. Like there are definitely people, especially in our Discord server, that are willing to help. I wouldn't ask people questions in Discord unless if I looked it up myself. As I can't go down these rabbit holes. We got to build here. We gotta actually get serious on building. You do you at the end of the day. And there are definitely people, especially in our community, that will help you. Okay, that's all installed. I mean, everything's looking pretty good. The only thing we got to take care of is the back. And I definitely got to stand up for this. So, we got all sorts of nonsense going on. The deal is, there's a 5-port PWM and a 5-port ARGB. I'm going to daisy chain the 4 additional ARGB ports to individual ports on this. I hope the hub can handle all that. But then for PWM, I am going to just daisy chain those independently and then plug it in. That's what I meant to check. At the bottom of the case. Where's our PWM connector? Yeah, at the bottom. I'm not going to daisy chain PWM to all that. That probably will not work. Okay. That's RGB. PWM. That should reach. So we can go there to there. And then I need one more PWM. Where art thou? I'm missing a PWM connector. It's all RGB. There it is. Oh, that one has even... Okay, that one will work. Plug this into this. And then this is the connector that has to plug into the bottom of our case. Let's do that real quick. I know this is a little difficult to follow, but I just gotta... We're at the point now where I just gotta dial it in, man. Or else I'm not gonna get any sleep. Wrap that PWM connector up and under and plug it into the bottom PWM. Okay, now all the fans should be taken care of. Now we just gotta do RGB action. So I'm just gonna be unplugging one of the connectors over and over again from the hub, and then daisy chaining one device that I added back onto here. I don't know if this is how electricity or science or math works, but I'm just gonna do individual daisy chains to the ports instead of taking one port and adding 4 extra devices. I have no idea if that's actually what I should do or not, but we're gonna send it. We're gonna see if that works and gets the job done. The goal is to have every ARGB fan / AIO all synced up with the press of the case button. That is the goal. I don't know if this RGB hub can handle all these connectors. There is definitely a chance that it cannot. It would not be like Okinos' fault or anything. This is a lot of RGB for one hub. If it doesn't work, then we will just separate them out and it'll be 2 different things. But this is the goal. You usually don't know the answer to these types of problems until you just try it. Unfortunately. Because you never really know. They're all different. Trying to plug these in without bending them. ARGB pins are very bendable. Very easy to bend by accident. Surprised I haven't done it yet, because this one is not going on. What are the best budget fans? I mean, I like Thermalright stuff. Yeah, I mean, Thermalright does make good fans. I like ID cooling stuff. Up here makes a couple. Up here makes some pretty solid budget fans. I mean, there's a lot. There's no real meta, I don't think. There's a lot of viable. Okay, I don't know why I can't get this to plug in. Let's unplug this one. There we go. My goodness. All right, so this is the fourth and final one. Sama makes good fans. Yeah, Sama has they have Infinity-like fans as well. Yeah, those are pretty good. Those are wireless. What happened to your old PC? I think we're just gonna sell it on a monthly drop. All right, let's try it. I'm gonna vote. It does. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna be able to turn it on. Dang. Oh, man. Let's go. Ooh. That looked nice, man. All right, well, turn it off. We got GPU to install first. Is that the frozen knot? Yeah. Is it frozen knot or frozen note? The AIO? Maybe it's note. Now I'm going to install the GPU up at the top here as our last component. And then I will do a very quick cable management run in the back. And then I'm done. I got to go to bed. Zach, there's liquid in the AIO. It's not frozen inside. Thank you. Thank you for the explanation on the dad joke. I appreciate it. What you drinking? Iced Coke Zero. Yeah, keeping it a little fancy. We're going iced Coke Zero right now. I did have a Crown and Coke Zero earlier. This cable management is not terrible. I know this is bad, and like at this point, I'm like, we're just gonna leave it. I mean, everything else isn't terrible. Like that's I've cable managed worse before. That is not too bad though. It is acceptable. Close that up. Put that on. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is our $900 gaming PC inside the Okinos Aqua 9. Got a Ryzen 7 5700 X3D. No RAM. We skipped the RAM for this build. And an XFX RX 7600. Other than the motherboard faulty lights, we should at least be able to see what it looks like. Dang. Oh, when you remove the glare from that AIO like that, let's go, man. That's clean. That will definitely work. $900. This isn't 100% exactly how I would draw up a $900 build, but it is what it is, and it's not too shabby. Let's check out these colors now. It's still not frozen. Correct. Ooh. All right. Tell me what color I should leave it on. Ooh, not red. Actually, the RGB doesn't look terrible. I love this. That looks really good. That actually... This really makes me happy because I feel like one of my strengths in the aesthetic game is I know how to balance colors and contrast colors very well. And this PC would look super bare right here if it didn't have this RGB strip. And again, I think it's just Okinos making really good decisions. Like, that really balances out the build. Purple looks really good. I think I like white. No, we just did black and white. I got a black and white build behind me. We can't do white. What color you guys think of? Red? No, I think the red was the weakest RGB color of the fans. See how with purple, the purple is the whole way up the fan? Like, you see the color the whole way, especially with green. Red, like yellow, that whole fan is yellow or green. It's switching. Purple looks really good. White, that whole thing is white. When you go to red, red was the weakest color. See how it's not red? Like, I'm looking at these fans right here. See how, like, the red doesn't spread? The red doesn't spread as good. It's probably the weakest. It actually looks much better in person than it does on camera, though. Specifically the shade of color. It's actually a really good red. The red on camera looks orange, but in real life, it's actually red. The RGB doesn't look terrible, though. Oh, wait, that's not RGB. That's... Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's everything. I'm surprised the PC's staying on this long without RAM. I mean, that looks good. I keep going back to that. I mean, I think that looks good. Oh, it's kind of weird, though. The case fans, the 5 case fans, only show red, purple, and blue. But this strip and the AIO fans, they show every color. I really like that color. I wish all of them did that. Teal looked good. Yeah, we can do teal. I thought teal looked pretty solid. I think purple might be the best, though. White, I mean, white looks really good. I think that blue's pretty solid. Teal? Should we leave it at teal? Dude, that's nice, man. That looks really good. Dang. Other than that motherboard faulty RAM light. Dude, that looks good. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep it teal. That's clean, man. There you go.